Well, talked to him a little bit earlier, and he's been around for a while. Pretty young kid. Plays multiple card games, Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh! The problem for Korey's always been he is really, really good at getting 9th place.
Yeah, Korey has actually been always just hovering around the fringes of Constructed, even from since before I was playing. Pretty well known for blue-white tempo style decks.
Yep. Not much of a surprise at all to see him playing Jeskai mid-range. Now, what may surprise you a little bit about his deck is that he has not 1, not 2, not 3, 4 copies of Myth Realized in his deck.
And I am really excited to see that. Myth Realized is, I think, one of the sleeper cards of the set.
You're a fan?
It costs the amount of mana that I want to pay.
Which would be 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you look at a spoiler, the people say, what's good? And I'm saying, what I generally tell them is, sort the spoiler by mana cost and start from the bottom.
You just love a powerful card.
It costs 1. That's exactly that is science. Most of the when you think of the most powerful cards in Magic that have been printed, you know what? You're just gonna give me a list of cards that cost 1 and 2.
Yeah, 0, 1, or 2. Yeah.
0 and 2. You're not gonna tell me about some 5-drop.
Well, I could talk about Cloudcoat Ranger for a while.
Yeah, I mean the best 5-drop in Magic is Force of Will.
That's true. That's unfortunately true. Yes. Manfield with his red-green monsters deck, red-green aggro, however you want to, define it. Playing a Thunderbreak Regent, that's going to get hit by a Disdainful Stroke. So just with an Elvish Mystic on the table, McDuffie seems like he's in a pretty good spot right now as he's tapping mana. Looks like he's going to play a Seeker of the Way. Pass the turn back over to Seth. Seth, a member of Team TCG player, again coming off for Pro Tour Top 8 at Pro Tour Fate Reforged, playing Burn in the Modern format. He'll be headed to Pro Tour Dragonstar here in a couple weeks from now. He's got a great resume. Someone who, oddly enough, always surprised me, really flies under the radar given his Magic success. Mid-20s, 3 Grand Prix titles, Pro Tour Top 8. He can really play. He's off to another great start here as well.
In this red-green aggro deck, this is similar to the thing that we had been hearing about some of the Northeastern players playing. A lot of, Ash Cloud Phoenix, Thunderbeak Regent, as well as Stormbreath Dragon. Some of these have even started using the new Sirach. Yep. I don't believe he's not on that one right now. But Dragonlord Atarka actually as well in his list.
Oh, he's going really big.
He's going very big.
Zenny goes to kind of fuel that. Here's a Stormbreath Dragon, tough card for Jeskai to beat, always has been. Though Stoke the Flames is helpful. Taking a look here at McDuffie's deck, let's see if he does have Stoke. Does have 4 copies, so does have an answer to this flyer.
The Stormbreath can really pose a problem for Jeskai decks.
Yeah. McDuffie's creature base here, 4 so far, Grandmasters, 4 Seeker of the Way, 4 Mantis Riders. So he is not a token strategy, certainly very mid-rangey. The thing that makes Jeskai interesting is so many different ways to build the deck.
Yeah, so you said not on the tokens plan?
Yeah, no tokens here. Here's a Crater's Claws. Seth a much bigger red-green aggro deck.
There is no, he doesn't, now that he doesn't have to worry about his dragon getting removed, Crater's Claws, that'll be for 3 because the dragon pump activates the ferocious ability on it.
Korey, want to take a look at Crater's Claws, make sure he knows exactly how this does work, see if there's anything he can do about it. Does have a card like Anger of the Gods in his hand right now, but Anger's not great on this board. That's not an answer to the old Stormbreath Dragon.
Yeah, Stormbreath by itself can beat Jeskai decks.
Yep.
They really have to be careful about it. There aren't a huge number of answers to it. He has to worry about, on the untapped Seth, if Seth's able to use the Monstrosity ability on Stormbreath, then it really starts to get out of range of what Jeskai can do. Korey may have to just spend his entire next turn stoking down the dragon.
Crater's Claws are resolved, Stormbreath's going to come in. McDuffie's going to go down to 16. Though I do believe Korey does have Stoke in his hand right now, so not all is lost as he draws a copy of Lightning Strike.
Yeah, Korey with just a lot of burn here. Looks like 2 Lightning Strikes, an Anger of the Gods, and a Stoke the Flames.
Now, things do get a little bit interesting, because we could see Korey just say, well, I have 10 points of burn in my hand. You have 2 copies of Manic Influence in play.
That would be a very aggressive race from Korey. Stormbreath Dragon is so good. Letting Seth use a Monstrosity on that dragon is dangerous territory.
Well, kind of think about it. Look at the board right now. Seth has no cards in his hand. If Seth draws something that's mediocre or just a land that enters the battlefield tapped, we can certainly see Seth just go, all right, attack, activate Monstrosity, go to 10, and then Korey says, perfect, stoke you down to 6, strike you, kill you. It could happen.
Yeah, no, you're not. You're right. It definitely could. I think he's going to go the plan of just stoking down the dragon.
See what
That
Seth's
is
draw
interesting.
here.
That is a bold play.
I actually don't know what you're supposed to do in that situation if you're Korey.
Huh.
Because your
he
opponent
could-
has no cards.
I suppose what happens that, so if Seth just hits with the drag, yeah, that's actually not a bad line. It is interesting. You have to think about what could get you if you make that play.
There's an attack for 1. McDuffie's going to go down to 15. Now here's Thunderbreak Regent. So Dragon, 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 Dragon.
There is a theme going on here. Thunderbreak Regent certainly encourages you to play more dragons, and Seth has no problem with that.
It's also been interesting last turn too, right? Because that was the draw step for Seth. So, you know, if Korey takes the risk that I mentioned, which is just, you know, still try to burn him out, well, Seth drew a card that he probably want to cast instead of activating the monstrosity.
Yeah. Well, no, because the coast isn't clear then, because Korey only had 10 points to burn, not 12.
Yeah. So given the card that Seth drew, which is Thunderbreak Regent, it may have incentivized Seth to say, okay, attack for 4, play my Regent, pass, and then Korey might have been in a lot of trouble because monstrosity would have happened and that game plan would have been out the window. So again,
now can't kill the dragons anymore because you take way too much damage.
Yep. So it gets really interesting then.
Well, and let's just showcase how good Thunderbreak Regent is here. Korey doesn't have a 1-for-1 kill spell with it. His way to kill it is 2 lightning strikes, but no one wants to do that to Thunderbreak Regent. That sounds terrible.
Well, he's going to go the Burmaz route instead. Pass the turn back, Will McDuffie over to Manfield. Gotta hope Manfield doesn't draw another dragon, though he is reaching for mana here, so that's got to be a little bit scary.
A second Thunderbreak Regent would probably be the nightmare draw here.
That or Storm Breath, I mean, both are bad news.
Yeah.
Doesn't look too bad so far.
I mean, it kind of looks bad. If Seth is attacking here, that's not good for Korey.
Well, Korey's down to 10. Seth's reaching. He's going to activate the Haven of the Spirit Dragon.
Oh, okay.
That's a newbie, and now here's another Thunderbreak. So you said another Thunderbreak would be bad. And
Yeah,
it is
he does.
bad.
He can do it on the board.
He did just go to 10,
Well, the Stoke's gone.
but the Stoke is gone. But he
Well,
could draw a Stoke.
You're not killing those dragons anymore.
That's off the table.
No, that's. I mean, unless he has. Unless he has end hostilities out of his sideboard.
Taking a look. Not there.
No, these guys are here to stay. This is a 2-turn clock. He has 6 points of damage. Can he find the rest?
He might have to peel Stoke now. This is actually really interesting.
And this feels so hard for Korey. You know, it did seem like he had control of this game.
Now Korey's taking a look at the graveyard. Now he's got to weigh his options about what his draws can be because it did feel like he had control of the game. But back-to-back Thunderbreak Regents, one that was drawn, the other, of course, brought back from Haven of the Spirit Dragon. I want to talk about cards that have already been impressive. This is really the first time we've seen Thunderbreak Regent so far.
Well, what Korey can do is he can, if his Anticipate finds a Stoke, he'll have Lethal Burn. Because he can Anticipate for Stoke and Lightning Strike, and then on the following turn he can swing the Burmaz, giving him 2 creatures, and then cast the other Stoke and the Strike with the available 6.
Okay.
He has to take no points. You can take 1 point from a pain land off that, but not 0.
Let's
Not
see.
2.
Let's see if he sees this because he's reaching for 3 mana. Looks like he's going to go with a unique Anger of the Gods route, which is a play he does not seem thrilled about. Now here's an attack. Now what this does is very unique because it forces through 4 points of damage. Because the Thunderbreak Regent has 3 points of damage on it, so even if it blocks the token.
Yeah, I mean, it incentivizes Seth to trade with the Burmaz, but it turns out he's not going to make that trade.
This is perfect for Korey. He's got 2 lightning strikes in his hand. He goes down to Seth goes down to 6.
Yeah, that should be good here. Unless Seth has some burn.
Yeah, he reached
A bold play because if Seth makes the block there with Thunderbreak Regent, I guess what Korey realizes is that Seth cannot afford to make that block unless Seth has Draconic Roar, and he does.
He does.
He certainly has a dragon in play, and that'll give it to Seth Manfield.
Seth Manfield going to win this match here with Korey McDuffie. 2-1. Red-Green Aggro will take care of Jeskai mid-range. A lot of new cards there from Manfield, all very, very impressive. If you weren't sure if Thunderbreak Regent's good, you just saw right there, it's pretty good.
And I think I want to go back to that play by Korey. I think it was